Here we are on beautiful Fort Lauderdale Beach, and I am sometimes asked, well, how are you paid and what do you do? I'm usually paid a commission similar to real estate, and it's equal to about 2.5% to 5%. It's built into the selling price, and the seller usually pays this. So my services are really free to the buyer. I just ask that you make any offers through me, and we use my contracts. This is a contract that's been around since 1926. It's a very clean contract, unlike some contracts in Europe. And some people say, well, isn't that a conflict of interest? If the seller's paying you, well, you owe your allegiance to him. Well, no, because I've been licensed and bonded since 1989, and we have a fiduciary responsibility to the buyer. And since I'm bonded, if I tell a fib, well, you can go get my bond and put me out of business. So this keeps all the licensed brokers in Florida, and I'm a yacht and ship broker since 1989, it keeps them honest. And unlike some countries where it's more like the Wild West. Speaking of those countries that are run like the Wild West, some of them have no commission built in for the buyer's agent. And this is also where we see the absolute worst service in the world. These agents who work for these discounted commissions, mostly like in Italy, Greece, Croatia. This is where we see the absolute worst service known to man in this industry. These agents are very slow to answer questions. They give incomplete answers. They just don't care. It makes it much more difficult to do business because they don't do business the way we do. Now, if you still want to buy a boat over there, and we can sometimes find some really great deals, I can represent you. I just need a consulting fee. It usually works out to a few $1,000s or a little more. And for that amount, I usually cannot attend survey unless I get that airfare and hotel covered. Oh, there are the sea turtle helpers. They work for Nova University here, and they help the sea turtles get a clean start in life, because some of them walk the wrong way toward the roadway. It's not good for little baby sea turtles. And by the way, I'm a certified sea turtle handler, and I've saved the lives of hundreds, maybe even thousands of little sea turtles. Anyhow, you can know that when I represent you, what I do is essentially serve as your navigator. I've been doing this 30 years. I've been involved in over 1,600 deals. I've never had a lawsuit filed or a complaint filed against me. And this is a little extraordinary because my competitors, one of them in particular, had 6 lawsuits filed in 1 year, on different things that they were involved with. So, no, I stay away from lawyers and lawsuits. It's not good for your pocketbook, okay? And people say, well, what do you do for this? Well, what I help you do is help determine if the title's good. That's one thing I do. And by the way, I've found 2 stolen boats over these years, and I reported them to the authorities, and they were brought to justice. And this is one thing I can help spot for you, because we usually smell a rat when it's a stolen boat or a bad title. A lot of these for sale by owner websites have stolen boats on them. There's over 10,000 stolen boats and yachts around the world, and they're mostly sold on these for sale by owner, the FSBO sites, because these type of sellers are looking for inexperienced buyers who aren't going to really check certain things. Okay. Another thing I do is I give you tax coaching. Now, I am not a licensed tax advisor, but through all the years I've learned different ways to achieve a VAT exemption. If you're a European resident, I can get you sales and use tax exemption. I can get anybody that. I can get you exemption from customs duty. By the way, if you buy a boat in Florida from an owner directly without a licensed broker, you automatically owe the tax, and they can come after the seller and the buyer, and it's double the penalty if you get caught. So be careful there. I help you with registration. I help you with insurance. I know what companies are writing the lowest premiums at that time. And it really pays to shop a lot there. I can help you with deliveries, getting them done cost effectively. Sometimes they're free because in my school, which is America's oldest sailing school, Castle Harbor in Miami, we sometimes have graduates of the 103, 104 courses. That's ASA terminology for coastal cruising. And we'll put an instructor on there and deliver the boat that way. And it can be free if we can use your boat to do that. I help with financing. I help with closing coordination. And, there's a lot to do with closing. Sometimes, like with French flag vessels, there's 27 steps and documents that have to be executed in a certain order. And if you don't know how to do it, it can be really frustrating. In the US, it's a little simpler, but it still needs coordination because it seems like when you're talking about paperwork, everybody's sort of lazy. They don't really want to do much, and they're unsure of themselves, and so they don't know what to do. So anyway, but I help coordinate that and speed that up. Also, I know how to deal with the dilettante brokers out there. And, there's a lot of part-timers in the business. They're really just bilge cleaners. That's their, main occupation. And so they run into a few listings every year, and then they try to be a broker, but they're not professional. And, I know how to deal with these types. I'll make it smooth and easy for you. So if you have any questions about this or buying a catamaran or a monohull, please see my website, largecatamansforsale.com. Get in touch with me. I'd be happy to answer your questions, and smooth sailing. Well, I have a little bonus tip for you today. It has to do with grounding or earthing. And this is one of the reasons why when you're on a boat, it's good to go walk on sandy beaches. Grounding or earthing refers to contact with the Earth's surface electrons by walking barefoot outside. You can do it on sand, which is really good because it has a high quartz content, which, quartz has memory and it conducts electricity. So, but you can also do it on dirt, grass, or stone. I'm not sure about concrete though. You can walk or just stand still, and you want to make contact with 2 points, your 2 feet. So, like with any electrical type transfer. So what does this do? Well, it resets your body's electrical charge, and it transfers energy from Mother Earth into the body. And so it has something to do with the Schumann resonance, which is the vibration frequency, you can't really hear it, that is set up by the spinning of the Earth. And right now it's between 8 and 15 hertz. We've been going through a highly charged part of the solar system right now, and so it's actually higher than normal, and this is like this higher energy is sort of causing some people to be a little more upset than normal. Now, so what does grounding do for you? Well, it's been shown to reduce inflammation. It helps your immune response. It helps heal wounds and treat autoimmune diseases like arthritis. Now, these diseases have increased significantly since we started wearing rubber-soled shoes in the 1950s, because rubber insulates you from the earth. And so all I can tell you is that I just feel a lot better after having a little walk. And and here I also walk here in the ocean, right where it's about 6 inches deep, and this salt water seems to conduct electricity a little better, so it seems to help with grounding. Anyway, just try it for yourself. It's free. All you have to do is go out and walk for a few minutes outside in your bare feet, and this will reset your electrical charge. So give it a try, and smooth sailing.